Hello anybody and welcome back to Let's Play Rogue Legacy. I'm Mr. Devious, or just D, but in the last episode, we finished up the Mayan Ponce de Leon and even got a good look at the dungeon. And in today's episode, we're going to be heading on down there ourselves to... Well, I mean, we headed down there ourselves before, but now we're going to head down there again, ready to face the dangers below. So, we're going to be starting off with the Hokage, and on our last life as a spelunker, we made a lot of money because we lasted a lot longer than we thought, so let's see what we are going to upgrade. We do have a lot of options here, and there's still the armor set we could upgrade. Let's upgrade the consecutive down strikes to make that slightly better. And while we're here, let's increase the amount of invulnerability time that we get. Alright, very nice. And looking at the new equipment that we have available to us, we've reached the Sky set, which is just a solid upgrade, basically, from what already exists, so, you know. And I don't know if you could hear that, but that was my cat meowing in the background. Yeah, it's not as strong as the Guardian set, but it is an upgrade from the Ranger equipment, and weighs slightly less, so it's a good set of armor, it's reliable, it's nice. And looking at the runes here, we still can't afford any of these runes, although we have 3 new ones here. As you can see, we are very close to getting them all, and that's very, very exciting. But without further ado, it's time for us to head back into the castle and do our thing. Now, at this point in the game, once you've defeated 3 bosses, it's actually not a bad idea to start just doing the entire castle runs if you're looking for money. Like, since the castle area now in particular is so easy, you can just kind of clear out all of the areas in a pretty quick run and just get yourself a lot of money that way, especially since you're gonna need money not only for the dungeon boss, who we showed off in the last episode, Herodotus, but also for what comes after it. So, you know, it's not a bad idea to just kind of look around and take care of everything. So I think I might even try this on my first life in here. So, yeah, we're gonna go for our first attempted castle clear out. Gonna try to do all the rooms before we go down to the dungeon, see how much money we make. It's not gonna be much in the castle, but, you know, it's just good to clean things up. And thankfully, since we have OCD, we can get back mana from breaking stuff, and that's always a little bit handy, even though I haven't been using my ability so much. Even though I should be. But oh well. And thankfully, because we're the Hokage with the high damage, we're going to be clearing out this area even faster. Nothing in the castle is going to survive more than 1 hit, unless we find a mini-boss or, like, a tier 2 who might take 2 hits. Or a tier 3 who might take more hits. You know, you never know. Now, the thing that we upgraded, one of the 2 things we upgraded was the ability to bounce, like that, in such a way that it will increase damage. So that's going to be really nice. Well, since we're on the right side over here, let's head into the forest first. Forest of Kazuya, it has been a while. By which I mean, I don't think it's actually been that long. And again, with the siphon and balance runes and all the reabsorption runes... What am I saying here? The blobs are great enemies to fight for that, because they give you back so much, because every single blobby they split into gives off a good number of things. And here's another reason you kind of want to keep doing runs throughout the castle, is because you get to, you know, you find more mini-bosses to kill, and they always give good rewards, whether it just be the money or a permanent stat upgrade. We still got a lot of money. Even just in these first 2 areas, we're nearly at 3,000 gold again. So, it's not like it's a total waste of time or anything. First things first, though, we're gonna go down here and get this money. But if you're gonna do a complete castle run, some of the traits I would advise going for would be things like dwarfism, so you can get into those tight corners and passageways if you want to take easy routes, as well as... That was not the ability I wanted to use. As well as... What am I saying here? The periphery foot artery disease, where, you know, you don't trigger spike traps, because that one, extremely useful as it is, even more useful when you're just going throughout the castle, because that's the most common hazard in this game, I think, or at least the most common hazard you can actually do something about, aside from just, you know, straight up spikes, normal spikes. Hokage is a good choice for this because they got the high damage. Lich is also a good choice because when you clear out the castle area, you'll get nice stat increases since you start off low. Spelunker obviously will get you a ton of money if you can survive. But, you know, pretty much most of the classes have something good for them at this point in the game if your stats are up to snuff. Like if they're up to good quality and you've been taking care of them. And hey, we got another journal entry, so let's read it. We gotta find out what happened after he saw his father at the Fountain of Youth. Journal entry number 24. Well, that was very enlightening. I think we learned a lot from that journal entry. Hey, Santa's in the background, on the far right. You can go back in the video and see it if you missed it. So just an eyeball in this room. More crows in the background. Going back to the areas, old areas, is also really cathartic because you can just kind of clear out enemies and hazards that might have given you trouble before because you've gotten so good. It's kind of the equivalent of like a boss rush almost in a game where you get to see how strong you've become and how far you've grown. How far you've grown, yes, I know what I'm saying. And we walked into spikes. No problem. No problem at all. However, spikes still do, like, a not insignificant amount of damage, so, you know, don't get too reckless just because you're strong. Rooms like this are why I really recommend the foot disease, and there's nothing even at the end of it. What a waste of my time. And yours, too. Well, at least there was money to get by going back. Again, though, just because these areas are easy now doesn't mean you can just get all willy-nilly about how you clear them out. Like, you can't get careless. Like any roguelike, really. I think that's a good rule to follow for any roguelike, is don't get careless, because that's the fastest killer in a roguelike. Getting careless. We've done a good job getting most of the rooms in here, though, so far, so that's good. Now this room, easy peasy, a lemon squeezy. I know I've said that before a couple times, but I don't care. I like to say it. It's fun to say. And that's another thing you get by clearing out the castle, is you get the fairy chests a lot easier in the older areas, so that's really nice. And here we actually have Alexander's boss door, which we did get the obol for him, so I'm going to show off his new fight real quick. Alexander IV, Sir Wagner. Sir Wagner is a ninja Hokage. Now the main thing you gotta use in this fight to your advantage is the Hokage's ability to jump, or to teleport around. Now with this armor set that you're given on this character, you can jump several times as well as dash once. Ouch. Overall though, this fight is not nearly as difficult as the other one was. The one against Kidder. Oh, but we died. Well, that was pretty brutal. We could probably do that if we put our minds to it, but I'm not going to worry about that right now because, again, when the time comes to worry about the boss rematches, I'm going to tackle them all in a row, ideally, just to keep them all together and easy to follow. Now here we have a challenging nightmare. Challenging enemy, but the Chakram's pretty good at knocking it around and keeping it from giving you too much trouble. Down here we can't get this fairy chest because we are too big. We are too big to get the fairy chest. We are not fairy-sized, if you will. I do, at least. But we get good heals from the food. And need to not be too careless. And that takes care of him. We just need to get this guy down there as well as this guy right here. It's always weird to see mages that take more hits than armored dudes, big armored dudes. Like, it's just, it's not right. It's weird, it's strange. You know exactly what I'm getting at here, even if I'm having trouble communicating my thoughts exactly on what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm trying to deliver here. Okay. We still need to play carefully because I have taken some damage now, and again, I'm still practicing the time-honored skill or tradition of ducking in and out of a room so I don't get blasted right away by the enemies and reset their positions and know where they are. It might be considered cheating, but I don't really think so. In this game, again, I've said it before, and I say it again, as I've been reiterating a lot of things I've said throughout this Let's Play, is you gotta kind of take every advantage that Rogue Legacy offers you, because it will not forgive you in other places at all. And this is the last room for the forest. I'm not gonna go get that treasure chest, if only because I expect I'll probably get myself killed in there. And I don't want to lose that life in such a dumb way. So now we're going to teleport back into the castle and start exploring again from here. We're going to be exploring near the entrance, from the entrance, and making our way out from here. Also, the Hokage is a good choice for exploring the castle, not only because of their high damage, but because they move fast, so you can kind of get things done more quickly and just clear a lot of ground in much shorter time, because you are going to be backtracking a lot when you're clearing out the whole castle. It takes time, and to be honest, I'm probably gonna die somewhere in the Maya. That's probably what's gonna happen. And here we have a fairy chest that thinks it's sneaky. Retaliation rune. Nice, nice. By my calculations, we might actually have all the runes by the end of our first playthrough. Now, I have received a comment since maybe two, maybe more. I have received a comment since I uploaded my last video, my last few videos, that some people would be interested. I know that Malvikin is interested if I would do another playthrough, so that's one person who would have interest in a New Game Plus. So that is it's a very real possibility. I am considering doing it. You know. But again, I'm always open to all opinions. I would not feel bad about doing it. My main concern is that I might not have as much to say, as is kind of the challenge with a roguelike, I find. Usually, my Let's Play style has more of a informative vibe to it, and I know this is kind of shop talk, a little behind the scenes, sort of, where I practice games, I kind of get a feel for them, and I kind of try to, not script, because all of this is improvised, more or less, but I try to get an idea of what I'm going to say for each section of the game. And in a roguelike, which reuses so much content in new ways, it's harder to think of new things to improvise and to say, so there are more quiet moments. Sorry if that bothers you or anything, but that's just kind of how it is. There's the Land of Darkness, though. And that's pretty much all I'm going to say on the matter. Not on the matter of the Land of Darkness, just the matter of, like, recording a Let's Play like this. It's just logistically different than what I'm used to. It doesn't really complement my usual style, but that doesn't mean I'm not enjoying myself, because I am. Because this is a fun game. It's just a good time. I never have a bad time when I'm playing Rogue Legacy, even when I'm dying. I mean, especially when I'm dying, because Rogue Legacy very much has a one more try kind of feeling to it. You can die quickly enough in this that you can feel like, okay, I wanted to make more progress, or it's like, or I'll just do a short life this time around. Thankfully, we've got the perfect ability for dealing with this room. And we still got hit anyway. God damn it. Not smart, not good at all. Oh well. We tried. Whoop. And got a big old room over here. Not sure what we're gonna do with it. Probably just gonna find a lot of enemies to kill in here. Typically, normally, if I had to choose between a linear game and an open-ended game, these days I usually spring for a more linear game because I don't have as much time as I used to have, and a lot of open-ended games can kind of get a feeling of, I don't really, I know they're a big time investment, especially for someone like me who wants to search every nook and cranny. So, a lot of the time when I play these kinds of games now, like open-ended games. And I mean, it's not the most open-world game, and I know this doesn't really count, but it does have a little essence of Metroidvania to it, and that alone makes it a little more challenging to, like, you know what I'm getting here. It's open world enough that I have to make some decisions about where to go and what I want to do, and I can be indecisive just because I'm not as used to playing open world games as I used to be. And here we have a random teleporter. And this is the end here. Oh, also, eidetic memory is a fantastic ability to have if you're going to do a run through that clears out the castle. For obvious reasons, just being able to see where all the enemies are in each area is just really handy. So let's see where this teleports us. Surely nowhere bad. It teleported us somewhere bad. Oh. Nope. Well, we can kill these dudes easily enough. Okay, we got some meat. And if you've been watching, like, how I've been collecting stuff so far in this castle run-through, you'll have definitely noticed that there's a stark contrast between how much stuff you get in the dungeon and how much stuff you get. I can't believe I found the boss door again. That fast. That's hilarious. But yes, there is a stark contrast between how much money you find in the dungeon and in anywhere else. That's Bodus. That is Bodus. He's gonna kill us. He's going to kill us really, really fast. And this room doesn't seem to have any enemies in it, just some spikes. Hey, we got a max MP increase. Oh, also, something else I learned when I was talking to Berter, my friend Berter, is that when I was talking about blueprints and stuff you get out of treasure chests, with blueprints in particular, it definitely depends on the chest level of the chest. Treasure chests have a level, and in the castle area, they're obviously very low level, and in other areas, harder areas, they're higher level chests, so that's why it takes longer to get certain sets of armor and the like, because you're not going to get the better armor out of weaker equipment, or out of weaker chests, you know? That makes sense, doesn't it? I hope it does. Because I don't know what I would do if it didn't make sense. Anyway, we're going back into the castle to get up ahead, so yeah. And I think this also ties into New Game Plus, because I'm pretty sure some of the last equipment sets in the game are not available until you play New Game Plus. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case, because we're only in like the third column of armor, and we're finding that equipment down in the dungeons. So that's just to give you an idea of, you know, how far in the equipment we are, or an idea of, like, how things are. We're not going to suddenly just get every armor set in the game now that we're in the last dungeon of the game. Now I'm confused in the castle, because I've gotten most of it done, but... And, well, it looks like we're almost done the castle area, aside from that one room in the top left there, but for now, we are going to be going back up into the Maya. Woo! Okay, this is going to be interesting. Well, no one ever said it would be easy, clearing out the castle, but hey, we got the first two areas done more or less, so this should be interesting. It's interesting because we were just in the Maya last episode, so we can still very much die very easily. But now we have more of a fighting chance than we did before. And again, it's cathartic. It's cathartic to just kind of go through this old area now that we've made so much progress, like 8 episodes worth of leveling up and getting stronger, and now we are like ready to just kind of clear it out for fun. I do wish this rage would get down here though. Okay, that's not too bad. But it is still tricky up here. We got one more journal. Oh, we can't actually read the last journal entry. The last diary entry is not available to you until you've beaten all the bosses. That's all I'll say on that. But we will be reading it. I can promise that. Okay, this room's easy. We actually did this room before, but in the opposite direction. Got ourselves the sprint rune. I wonder how long this one life is taking. Well, by its end, if we don't get killed in the Maya, and we actually get down and do some of the, more of the Land of Darkness, you'll have a pretty good idea for how long a run of Rogue Legacy can take, just doing everything, or just clearing out every room. And that's doing it relatively fast. I mean, not the fastest you could do. Like, again, you can get so high level that you can just dominate even the dungeon with minimal effort. But we're not there yet, obviously. But we're still doing better than, say, a level 1. And there have been people who have beaten this game on their first life because they're really, really good at video games. And we got a couple of dogs. And we got one more Worgen. I don't even care. I'm not taking my chances with that Worgen because I don't like Worgens. It may surprise you to hear this, but I don't like Worgens. This is the first I've said this thought. I've never said this before. And there's a gloopy slime plant monster over here. Oh, there's a bookshelf in the way. And looks like we're more or less done with that. This room was actually pretty dangerous, all things considered. One thing I'm surprised that we haven't found yet in here is a shrine to pray to, which would be really nice to get. That guy tried to throw a ninja star at us. Would be a shrine to pray to, because I do need to get the other obols. I do need to get an obol for Ponce de Leon, and I will need to get an obol for Herodotus after we beat him, but, well, that time has not come yet. They're dead. And this run is just going spectacular. Thankfully, that was just out of our head range, or just above our head range. Again, another diary entry that we can't read. This is interesting. How am I going to deal with this? Like that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, that was dangerous. Well, that'll get the job done well enough. And now, like, some of the very small hazards are threatening to us. Yeah, I know I lost the money, by the way, by ducking out of the room to not take the hit, but damn it, I'm dedicated to clearing out this mansion now. And that might mean my death, or that might mean I lose a little bit of money, but, I mean, look at that. I have 140,000, or 14,000 gold, not 140,000. Although we will be getting that amount of money in New Game Plus, if we do play New Game Plus. You get a lot of money in New Game Plus. Like, a lot of money. It's ridiculous. It's silly. And what's down here? Not much by the looks of it. Also, we are nearly done here. In the Maya. In the Maya. The mighty Maya. Now, if we're fast... Oh, and we're dead. Well, you know, we killed a lot of enemies. A lot of enemies. So that's what it looks like when you try to do a clearing out. And we did most of the Maya, so I feel pretty confident in how much we got done there. That's not going to be the end of the episode, though I will be checking the time. Alright, so we have time for a couple more lives, I think, especially since we're going to be going down into the dungeon and probably dying pretty quickly. And for our life... let's be a dragon with peripheral artery disease, so that means that we won't be triggering any spike traps, and that includes spike traps on the ceiling, which is a little silly, but hey, I'm not complaining. First things first, gold gain up, and what other expensive thing can we buy here? Well, dang, potion up. I know we just spend most of our money in one fell swoop, but I don't care. And now we're slow again. That's gonna be weird to get used to. Sky limbs are now for sale. They're not as good as the Guardian limbs in terms of defense, but they do give lots of magic, and that's always appreciated. We could always buy ourselves a new rune. or replace one of our runes, one of our bounty runes, but I'm not going to do that because I don't need to. Why waste the time? Actually, since I'm here, I'm going to buy ourselves a vampire rune just because the dragon regenerates anyway, so, you know, why not? Now let us head forth. So yeah, it takes about like 25 minutes to half an hour to do the whole castle, if you're strong enough. You can obviously do it faster or slower than that. It could take up to an hour if you're playing carefully. It could take like 20 minutes if you're super power strong, then all the enemies are like no threat to you, but 30 minutes, it's about right. It's about what it takes. Okay. Now I just need to get my bearings and start heading down, because even though I am doing the 3 lives this episode, since we're up to such a big time limit already, this episode's gonna be long, and we already took a pretty bad hit. Okay. This room is a little silly, but not particularly threatening. One thing that takes getting used to, though, is, like, when you press left and right, you turn around immediately. So it is challenging to kind of do the backward attack thing where you know, even though you swing your sword and you can pull back, when you're a dragon, you can't do that so much. I will pray for assistance, and god damn it, we got the Hedgehog's Curse. Well, hopefully we find another shrine, because I do not want to deal with that. Ugh. And we got ourselves more treasure. Always welcome, though. Now, as easy as it was for us to get to the Maya when we were just in the castle area, it's even easier now for us to get to the dungeon, the Land of Darkness. Because we're even stronger to this area, and it's even more of a joke. And just in general, I find that going down is easier to do than going up. And here our flight ability is proving to be quite handy. But I don't expect we'll survive long, because this dragon is gonna go down fast. It won't take many hits to kill him. And we got ourselves the Sky Helm, very nice. If I remember correctly, I think I beat my game the first time with the Sky equipment, so it's good equipment to finish your first run on. I'm not looking forward to getting hit. I'm gonna get hit. I am gonna get hit, and I'm gonna get mad. Because my money is gonna go flying, and I'm gonna get disoriented, and I'm gonna be upset. Mr. Bones, what are you doing down here? And oh, you don't even know how New Game Plus is gonna mix things up yet. It's kind of hilarious and kind of silly. It doesn't drastically change the game in, like, such a way that it's like an entirely different game, but it does change it enough that it keeps things interesting. And is this cheesy? I know it is, but I don't care. And now our money is everywhere. This is not good. This is not very nice. Frickin' horse. Frickin' bloob. These blobbies, they can jump high. Don't underestimate them. Now I gotta get my money back, but this horse is in the way, so the deed is done. And see, that was 600 gold from just like 3 hits. You lose your money so fast. I hate it. I hate it so much. Oof. And there's another blobby. Oh boy. This is exactly what I didn't need. And there was still a fireball there. That was careless. Sir Kenny V has been slain by a blue bite. Still, got a nice number of kills under his belt before he went. So, who are we going to play as on our last life? Eidetic Memory is always a good memory, or a good ability. We played a mage. Let's re-roll our children to take advantage of that ability, just to see what we'll get. Well, we haven't played a Lich in a while. I know it would be a good idea to play a Spelunker, but And we lost most of our money. That's great. It's really great. But oh well. It's time for us to be a nostalgic old lich. We remember the good old days. We're reminiscing about the days when we were alive. Because liches are usually undead. They're most often undead, so I don't know what the case is with this family. And I did it again. I did the mana conversion thing. I always do that. I always do that. I might hang around the castle a little bit just to get my stats back. Because I did just kind of get rid of them really quickly there. Whoops. And I should have put the balance rune back on. Doi. Because now we're not getting our mana back, and that's not good. Well, at least there's plenty of enemies down here for us to leech off of. Like, a lot. Very nice. Very tasty. And we just gotta wait for us to reach our max HP potential, and then we can cut it in half. Won't be there for a little bit yet. I think it maxes out at like 150% of what your of the normal HP. And again, we're not there yet. But we will be. We will be. But not yet. Get back our mana. No looking. Not allowed to look at this fairy chest. And it is done. Another rune. Another deed done. Up here, jukebox. And let's put on some Ponce de Leon's theme, because I like his boss music a lot, and sadly when you buy it on iTunes, it's only loops once, and that's really disappointing. Because, you know, I want to hear it loop a couple times. Usually video game tracks, in my opinion, if it's a short loop, they should loop at least twice, or at least enough times to fill up like 2 minutes. Minimum. That's my opinion. And up here, we took a little bit of damage, but 174, we are doing pretty nicely so far for ourselves. Bodus, Bodus, Bodus. I'm not scared of you, because your pattern's easy. Pretty easy, at least. You should be grateful, though, because you got boss music from a good boss. You're welcome. So far, listening to the music in the game, what have your favorite tracks been? Any of them? We haven't heard them all yet, but, you know, the time is near. And I think we might be maxed out on how much HP we can get. Oh, no. Go, bird army. Go and kill. I do love my birds. They get the job done. And it looks like our fastest way back over there is going to be to teleport over via the warp right over here. Will that restart the music? No, it didn't actually. Need to be small to get in there. Again, that's another reason dwarfism is a desirable trait for castle clearing, because, again, you can get into those little cubby holes where the treasures are, and everybody likes cubby holes. Everybody. Anybody who says they don't like cubby holes is a liar. What am I even saying? What am I even saying? But yeah, when you're a lich doing runs down for the dungeons, it's generally a good idea, I think, to just kind of go through the castle and get yourself some HP and mana. I know I just did the split, but that was because my HP was maxed out, I'm pretty sure. And we're out of castle to grind. I mean, we could go back up and around, but, well, I'm not going to do that. Whoops, I did it again. So let's do that. Send a lot of crows out there. I mean, we have the MP. It's better to spend MP than to die, and I've been guilty of letting myself die a couple too many times. Go, my birds. Kill them all. Still 6 enemies left in here. And we're dead. That was bona fide carelessness on my part. Oh well. Oh well. I don't regret anything. Well, we still made good progress on the money front. Made a lot of money, bought a couple critical upgrades. So that'll be it for today's episode. So in the next one, we're probably going to dive down more directly into the dungeons and less screwing around in the rest of the castle. So we'll probably make a little more progress, quote unquote, in the next one. So if you want to see more, thank you for watching, and I just hope to see somebody in the next one. Bye-bye.